From last
System,
week, we didn't
yeah.
finish up because of how everything just, ended, but we give God praise. So
Yeah.
today we're going to be doing a continuation on the topic of last week.
Yeah, I think the last question you asked was if I think like you were referring to the previous week before ours. If gospel,
Okay,
if secular
yes, gospel
musician, or rather, or
musicians could
gospel
sing
musicians should.
secular music
That was it with
or
secular
secular
music.
song.
And I
Yeah.
think I said
Okay.
absolutely yes before. I don't know. I went off. Yeah, coming back. Yeah, but if we should start there, like more or less like a refresher for us. Uh, First of all, music is music. Music, yeah. What makes, I think many people, like we all know, many people
Yeah.
have said, they've said a lot of things about this. What makes music
Okay.
secular or gospel basically is the lyrical content and the spirit and the attitude
Yeah.
behind whoever, I mean, the
Okay.
songwriter, basically. Now, like I always jokingly said, I've always said that jokingly that if even the government of the day, they're supposed to be
Yes.
secular, if they can frown type of music, they will play some type of music. Then
Yeah.
what do you think God will say or feel about such music? You understand? So we know good music, whether gospel or secular, and we also know music that is not, too healthy for everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, Christians get married, right? When Christians do get married, what type of music should they play? Ideally, I'm supposed to be playing
Yeah.
some love song,
Yeah.
right? Now, the love song, most people have seen it to be like when
Yeah.
you're singing love song,
That's
then
true.
you're not a gospel artist. But first of all, yeah, but that to me that is very wrong. And because gospel musicians, uh, they've actually left, I mean, they've abandoned that aspect of music.
Yeah.
From the scriptures again, Bible says God is love. So anything about love is God. That we know, yeah, if we should go deeper a little, we know that there are different types of love. Like they have the agape love, the God kind of love. We have the platonic love. We have the filios, the friendship kind of love. Then they have the erotic love and so many of them. Yeah. But if we do not think about the God kind of love, then believe you me, people are going to get it,
Yeah.
skewed or corrupt. They'll get the corrupt version of it. And that's actually what is happening. Everybody wants to be loved, but we don't know. There's a difference between love and lust or infatuation. What
That's
most
right.
people
That's the
take to be
truth.
love
Yeah.
these days is actually lust.
That's the truth.
Because love is give. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love is give.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not give and take. Give and take is lust. Because if I give, I keep giving in love, then the other person gives and keeps giving.
And take it.
Then it becomes easy for us to give and take, or to give and receive. Yeah, now, yeah, but the truth is, I think we are forgetting so quickly that musicians are like philosophers. In fact, they are modern day philosophers. They have the power to shape the thought pattern and the lifestyle of people, especially young people out there. So that is why you see young people, or even some older people, idolizing celebrities, whether they are radio personnel or TV characters or movie celebrities, or they idolize them. They want to be like them. They swallow in completely, like the hook, line, and sinker, the ideals these people are singing about or they're talking about. And because there is no more or less like
That's
original,
right.
people always go with the counterfeit. So if we think about love, what true love is, whatever type of love, you can actually talk about filial kind of love without necessarily, overstepping the boundaries. Because when I was getting married, I had to prophesy the God love, now the erotic kind of love and the filial kind of love to my wife, right? And That is part of life. But the more we shy away from these things in our songs, in our messages as pastors or ministers,
Yeah.
in our messages as creatives, maybe you are a content creator, the more they are going to pick up this knowledge from somewhere else. So everybody's got a role to play. So as gospel musicians, definitely there's nothing wrong with us singing about secular things because we live in a secular world. The word secular is not negative, actually.
Yeah.
The word secular means sensual, right? Earthly. Yeah. So we go to secular schools. Most of us, some people are not privileged to go to missionary schools. Even in the missionary schools, they still teach about secular things because the missionary schools are all about theologies and about God. So we eat, secular food. We wear secular clothes. I'm wearing my face cap on. There's no difference between the way I wear it and how a secular person,
except people put on a tie or your
wear it.
Oh my God.
But Jesus, yeah. But I think Jesus Christ made this thing very clear when he said, it's naturally, what we eat.
Yeah.
That makes us impure.
But
what comes out of us is out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Yeah. So if you are filled with the word of God, now, sincerely speaking, you find it difficult to write secular music. If you're a Christian and you're filled with the word of God, you find it very difficult to write secular music.
Yeah.
Even your secular music will be religious, kind of. They'll still be churchy. That is it. So if you can't watch it. So, but as a gospel, or as gospel musicians, I think if we do some good gospel music, I call it good music because sometimes even what we call gospel music actually is not really entirely for the church.
It cuts across.
Because we have Christian music, we can actually break it down. We have Christian music and we have Christian music is the type of music that is used for the mainstream worship in church. Like I mentioned, it could be a vertical relationship that you're talking to God directly. It could be horizontal. And being horizontal, you're talking to your fellow human being. So it could be evangelical. It could be, talking about God, or you could be talking about Thanksgiving, expressing your Thanksgiving, or you could be a testimony, telling people about what God has done for you, inviting people to come and join you to praise God. Most of our praise and worship are filled with these kind of lyrics. Temple. Some people feel so it is worship. When it is fast, it is free. It's not true. It's not true. Yeah, I think political content. Yeah. So the same thing, if we can, as Christians or gospel musicians, we can talk about the ideal, the reality of what this thing is all about. Like, okay, take for example, I did some songs in my dialect. They talked about the importance of womanhood, how beautiful a woman is, how you should value a woman.
Yes, but
done in my dialect. I think
he will have
to come back. He's trying to come back.
Bring him in.
Don't fail.
I don't know. Let me see. Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming.
I think he can actually.
He sent a message that we should try to add him back or something.
Audience request. Okay. Invite. Hello. Yeah. I think I saw someone else. Who's there?
You got him, right?
Audience. Anthony Audio. Okay, you're welcome. Okay. Really? Oh.
That's my big. All right. Okay. Now I know. Okay. That's one of my big bros. Yeah. So basically, so you when you have this kind of mentality about what should be gospel music and what shouldn't be gospel music, then so there are still the Pharisees of our time, the Sadducees, who will tell you they're like who will tell you what is acceptable by God and what is not, and that's why we have some of. And the more Christian, gospel musicians run away from these things. Okay, like I mentioned, the word gospel is not necessarily for the church; it's actually for the sinners.
And preach.
But Jesus Christ said in His word, "Go into the word and preach the gospel." whether it's song or whatever you are preaching. So gospel music, ideally, it's not even for the church, for the lost souls. It's for those people out there. It's for the world. Now, why Christian music is the music we Christians use, you know, in the mainstream worship in Church of God. So when you say you're a gospel musician and all you do is then you might not be fulfilling, if nobody's getting saved through your songs, you are not meeting the needs of people.
Yeah.
You might not be doing what you're supposed to do completely. Yeah, because if all you do is just to lead people to God and you worship, like Apostle Paul admonished, if someone comes to the church and he finds everybody speaking in tongues, they are confused. They don't even know what you're talking about. But if someone is speaking word of prophecy that affect them, they tend to, right? So if, for example, you are leading people in worship and you're just blasting in tongues, to a natural man, he or she may not connect with you. But sometimes you go out there, you relate with them, you talk about their struggles, like Jesus Christ. He said he was touched by infirmities. And so because of that, he knows our feelings, he knows our pains, he can relate. Now when you go out there, you tell them what they feel, not a message of condemnation, but a message of hope, that there is life, irrespective of who you are, where you are. Jesus said, come unto me, right? I will give you rest. He says your sins may be as dark as scarlet. He said, I will make you as white as wool. Maybe as red as crimson. I will make you as pure, you know, as snow or what as snow. Now, if because of this kind of, what is our mentality of this one is a sinner, this one you are going to hell, just because someone is smoking, I don't smoke, and I do not appreciate people. I mean, I do not admonish people to smoke because of the danger in it. But that you see someone smoking does not make the person hellbound. Believe you me, that person may get born again. And you that were criticizing, you may fall and you don't even know the hour. So just like I said, we should always, so our kind of music, I've seen many, see, sometimes you listen to some secular music, you see the depth of what you're talking about, you say, wow. But you see some gospel music, apart from Jesus, I thank you, I praise you, and we're just repeating ourselves. Too much light in the church, we are now being blinded by the light. Whereas there's darkness out there.
It's true.
So don't mind me, I'm just talking like this because of where I'm coming, right? Yeah, so absolutely, if you ask me, yeah, gospel music should talk about secular things. But as long as we live in this secular world, we wear secular things, we eat secular food, why not? We should have a good gospel musician singing about love that we can play in our marriages, in our wedding anniversaries, right? We should have good music about good music that we can play in graduation parties, about love naturally, not just within the main, you know, the mainstay or the four walls of the church. No, because the concept of church, wherever you are, Jesus said you don't have to come to the mountain before you can worship, but it has to be done in truth and in spirit. And if you actually spiritual, God can inspire you to see anything. That people need it out there. But now this is the danger. You know, most gospel singers, most gospel artists, the fear of what people will say. Brother, so yeah. Or they may be fired or suspended in church. Or
that God has
inspired
you to reach out to people. I mean,
that was the first thing that made me fall in love with Kirk Franklin long time ago.
Yeah.
That guy made you can do anything in a godly way, you'll be fine. Even today, in every criticism, but as far as I'm concerned, that's one of my greatest influences, right? One of them. Yeah, it tells you it is possible and you can. And for some of us who may not be gifted with very sonorous, you know, voices, you can done it. You can do if you are, you can do it. And like I mentioned it last time, don't be. I think where someone said, and I completely agree. We get frustrated the moment we try to compare ourselves with others. That's the truth. So there's no way, there's no how I will train. Let me train with the best vocalists
That's right.
for the next 10 years. I will never sound like you. Don't say we never sound like me. So I think what is comfortable is you finding the style of music that you are comfortable with.
Yes.
With your vocal tonality. I think I'm jumping, but I'm just trying to tell you some of the reasons why people shy away from some things. There's no I'd love to do gospel music, but I'm not sounding like Frank Edward. Or I'm not sounding like UC. Or I'm not sounding like Chioma Jesus. Or I'm not sounding like Mercy Chinwo. Listen up. If there were Mercy Chinwos before she came, nobody would have listened to her because she was unique. One of the things I love about Easy Concept is that he has
different.
All his artists,
they're
into worship, but they're unique in their very unique. So that's how it is. And the industry is looking for new things, unique things every day. But you know why? Some people will never be heard, even in their locality. It's because you are not bold enough to express themselves.
That's the truth.
The society has society has caged up. You know, see, the truth of the matter is, why many people grow up to be timid. I've been a victim, right? I've been a victim. Like, grow up being timid and shy. Sometimes you now have to be quoting. No, God has not given me the spirit of fear. There's the spirit of boldness and of sound mind and of love. Now you have to psych yourself. Because no matter what you know how to do, when you see somebody else doing it, especially when you are not getting the same level of results at the moment, you feel like you are making a mistake. You feel like I'm not good enough. You feel like, why should I do this? Maybe I'm in a wrong field. I'm going to say, man, you are unique, like Gideon. You are a mighty man of valor. You know, you have amazing stuff that the world is waiting for.
And the church especially.
And because of the way society and the church
especially.
Let me put it that way. The church has with their doctrines.
Amen.
Most of those
I don't want to talk about doctrine now. They actually just take the whole day because it does a lot. It does a lot. Somebody was talking about okay, thank you. The guy was talking about love. Yeah, he said God is the originator of love. In fact, God himself is love. So any other love song that we hear is a counterfeit. That's what we talked about last week. Any other love song we hear. I'm there. Hi, is here live. Who is there? Who is Jeremiah? Jeremiah. Bye.
I know you.
Oh, welcome, Jerry. Welcome. So the guy was like, okay. So the guy was like, welcome, bro. So the guy was like, God is the originator of love. Not only an originator, he's love himself. So if we're talking about love song, God started it. We can't be saying that we want to copy the world because they're doing love. We are love. We are love as Christians. Because God is love, we are love ourselves, you know, because we demonstrate what true love really means. Okay? It starts from the church, except we don't really understand it. So you doing a love song is you being you. You're being real. That's your reality. Okay? That's the reality.
So I want to borrow what.
Okay, go ahead. I've never taken our time to study. So have you ever taken the time to read or study songs of? I think that's the greatest poem.
The greatest poem.
Come on, man.
Although we don't read it all the time.
Of the Bible,
of course, people might read it in their private, you know.
But why?
Yes, I mean, why? I also ask that question because,
bro, why?
Now, first thing I always say, like, I mean, as long as we have the original, okay, or let me put it that way. As long as we have the fake, that means there's an original.
There's an original, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because I mean, just imagine. I mean, I tell you that I have a fake 2,000 naira.
Where did they make it? Yeah.
Do we have original genre?
That means there's a real one.
Okay.
Original.
But the point is that because God is the love himself, like I mean, Ralph has really expatiated on that, you know. And so if we are to follow Christ or follow his footsteps, you know, so we should love. You know, we should show the love from every angle, you know.
Yeah, from every angle. Music, our lives, behavior, everything. Yeah.
Exactly. You know.
I was privileged to grow up in a church in Benin back then, Miracle Assembly, where we used to have singles meeting, I think every month.
Oh,
yeah. Pastor Jeffrey is my pastor. Okay. Still my pastor today.
Really?
Yeah. So, no, we started at right?
I'm a part-time member.
Of course. Yeah. Yes, come on. So yeah, we were a visiting member.
There for some time. Yeah.
But yeah, the point I'm making is growing up in such a church, we were exposed to some of these things. Singles Classic was a hit. I think I started attending Singles Classic I was like 18. From those days till I left Benin. I've always enjoyed Singles Classic and all of that. Now, the point I'm making is, have we ever really asked ourselves question, why do we have so many divorce cases right now? I think the church is gradually overtaking even the secular world when it comes to divorce.
Sad. Very sad. You know.
It's sad. So because why? Because we are pretending so much, ignoring what should be treated, right? Someone listening to secular music, I mean, you say, no, why should you? Then what gospel music will he or she connect to or vibe with, you know, at his or her age? Because the gospel musicians have left all of this. Any style that is trending or that is doing well, say, no, it is secular. So we don't want to have anything to do with it. The man of God will tell you, no, don't do that. Now you see the divorce cases on the increase every day.
Okay, yeah.
We still come and pretend like everything is okay. Now, the moment you don't have something positive to look up to, you are going to like they say, if the preferable is not available, the available becomes preferable. So you now say, okay, if this is the concept of love, they will tell you, go to counsel in church, read books, you went for counseling, you read books about whatever, and they will tell you don't do this, but there's no guide. So they're going to pick it, whatever. So music, somebody is just coming from church with all the spiritual songs they've just heard. As a person just coming out of church, you're singing one popular music that is banging out there. And now, I am not against the type of music we play in church, but I think where we are stuck, I'll quickly say this before you continue. Where I think we are stuck is this: the kind of music that the church embraced were the kind of music that were dominant in those days with the black Americans, which they call Negro spiritual. Connect with, but believe you me, our culture, this generation, we have evolved. Things are evolving. Your music must reflect your culture.
Like,
you can't be. There was a time Don Wen used to be
the heat.
Wrong.
Yeah.
When like people, you know, Mercy Chinwo and Mercy Chinwo is so versatile. I love that lady. She's so versatile. She can do all music. When you see her album, you know, you see, no wonder the success. Every program, she's ministered virtually everywhere. Look at him, Godfrey. You know what I mean? And now there's another guy coming for that guy's crazy right now.
Prince Emmanuel.
Oh, okay. Prince Emmanuel, that's my guy. You know what I mean?
I think I've heard of him. I've not really watched.
Have you heard of Prince Emmanuel?
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Please go and listen to his music. The guy is like a rave right now, sweeping across people in Nigeria, and that is free publicity because I love him, right? We should encourage more of such persons that will do the amapiano style of music with good lyrics, that will do the rap kind of music with good lyrics, that will do reggae with good lyrics, because there's no style, like I said that day. Satan did not create anything. There's style that is
at all.
there is
You
no
know, I
music style
mentioned it
that
the
is
last
demonic.
time. Rock. Some people say rock is
Every time we
demonic.
just say
Rock is this,
there's
rock
some
is that. It's not.
yeah.
But most of the gospel music, especially Nigerian music that we hear, I mean, they've all moved to rock. You know,
Seriously.
that beat, pop rock,
Especially
slow rock.
gospel.
I mean,
No, that was a thing. That time, that was a thing, and these people contributed to that. Was it? There's this music that was on. Was it Channel O? Or was it Club 700? On DSTV, there was
One Cube.
700 Club, and the other one Cube. Most of music time, because when I was still watching, they were mainly rock. Yeah. So that would be subtle influence. You won't even know you are learning these things before you know. Whenever they continue to sing or you want to vibe to something, you see yourself. Yeah, let me not talk too much today. Okay, yeah. That's what I think. So, in my opinion, yeah, gospel musicians should do a lot of secular music. By secular music, is just taking the gospel.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And another thing is that when God said we are the light, right? With the gospel, so say we are the light. So I'm just imagining a scenario like, okay, imagine we are all in church, and we're just like Ralph mentioned, we should actually go out there. That is actually the gospel.
Yeah.
The gospel is to bring sinners back to God.
Exactly.
And not a Jonathan.
Jesus Christ.
Is that? Yes.
That was Jesus Christ's principle, right?
Yeah.
When they attacked Jesus, I said that was Jesus' principle. They attacked him for being friends of sinners. They even call him wine bab. But is it Babla or whatever they call it? They say it was a carton. It was. But Jesus Christ said this thing. He said the people that are healthy, they have no need for a physician. So in the church, right? You go to some churches, everybody in the choir is a soloist by default. You see the of now dragging who wants to lead. Now witchcraft will not be introduced because of position and who should sing, who should lead. You see people now do too much light. My brother, too much light is now blinding.
Oh my gosh,
and another thing,
basically,
if lights, I mean, I'm just imagining. So as Ralph was just speaking, so if we have too many lights in a place,
doesn't mean it's true.
In fact, the eye is gonna get blind. So imagine, where too many lights. There are different focus and waves and what have you.
but
so we are actually the light of the world, not the light of the church.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, but this is where we differ a little, right? From the concept of cinematography.
Yes.
You can never have too much light if well used. No matter the light, the better. Now, I'm coming to how can you apply it in the Church of God. The more the light, the better. But every light you in filmmaking plays a role. There's what we call key light. That's the main light on you. There's what called the backlight. The one that separates your back from wherever that is behind you. Then there's what called key light or to brighten all the whatever, make sure everything is evenly lit. You have props lights. But if the church and you charge their lights the right way, everybody playing a major, your specific role to play.
Yes.
I don't think the issue of too much light will not be a problem. But if every light you have about 10 lights, and you make all of them the key lights.
Yeah.
They'll be too much.
Hi,
too much.
Jerry.
Yeah, someone is coming in.
Jerry Maya.
Great.
Welcome.
Welcome, sir.
Very well. Cool. Welcome.
How are you?
Musician hangout, rather.
Yeah.
Mr. James, I greet you. I celebrate you.
This is fun. This is fun. Yeah.
My God, good to see you again.
Yeah, we say
yeah, please.
Oh, James, right?
Yeah, this is.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, back to you.
Okay, I've been following your conversation and
I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, I've been listening to your conversation and I've been enjoying.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you
it's
so
good.
much. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. We appreciate
Every
that.
bit of it.
Thanks.
Yeah, I've
Wow.
been enjoying every bit of it. Yeah,
Thank you
I
so
think
much.
Do you have a
I
question
think
for Dura?
Thank you.
Go ahead, sir.
yeah I okay. I want to continue for where my brother stopped. You
Okay.
see, we have missed it entirely in the church. We've missed it.
That's true.
Thank you.
That's true.
We've missed it entirely. We have become too over spiritual in church, and is affecting the way the church is being wired.
Mm.
Do you know today,
Mm.
I was listening to Bob Marley today, and I
To
was
who
listening
is
to the
Bob
lyrics.
Marley?
Bob Marley was, yeah.
Yes.
I was
Okay.
listening to the lyrics, to his lyrics. His lyrics are nothing to be compared with.
Mm. Mm. Very creative. Was a
So
very
what
very
group of the
prolific
music
writer.
which of them did you listen? Can you share with us?
I have Bob Marley. I have like Yeah, I have like over like 100 of his songs.
Okay.
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 Yeah,
Wow.
That's like,
Yeah. Yeah, that guy. We, but
and
most
it
of
was
these
like
people,
Bob Marley
right? The
was
Rastafarians,
saying
they base most
what was coming.
pictures.
What was
like
coming to pass.
prophesying. Okay. Like prophesying into the future. Okay.
This, you know.
So shoot. Okay.
They are
So I
somehow
think,
prophets. Those
yeah.
people.
So I think the church should have people like you. Yeah, yeah. Like my pastor would say, they are Balaam's donkeys.
Balaam.
Like, yeah,
Oh,
Balaam's
Balaam
donkey.
donkey.
Meaning what?
Oh, okay.
Oh, Balaam's donkey. Okay, yeah. I
yeah,
get that.
Yes.
yeah. So we need guys
You need an
like
angel
you.
to direct
We need
them.
guys like you to. I said we need guys. Yeah,
Yes. Yes. You're right. You're right. Because sometimes I think I heard somebody say the other day said for the fact that um, everyone is lying doesn't make it the truth. For the fact that everybody is used to saying just one particular thing doesn't make it the
Yeah.
truth. The truth still has to be said anyways. Who would dare to say the truth? Who would dare to go out of the norm and become different? People actually want to see difference. They want to hear difference these days because almost everyone is sounding alike. So you have to be different. So you can have a niche.
I've always asked this question. Who defines As I've always asked this
I don't
question, who
know.
defines the norm?
I
don't know.
mean,
This so-called norm.
Don't
Who
know.
defines it?
I don't know.
So, so the more we bought ourselves to a concept or an ideology or a philosophy from somebody or some group of persons, and that the fact that it has been, that's my problem with culture, some of our cultural beliefs. When you dare to ask our parents, okay, this is a particular culture we practice in this place. Why is it so? The easiest
doesn't make it right.
is what our father has been doing. But that they've been doing it doesn't make it right.
If they call it a
norm,
you create a norm for yourself as well. Yeah.
Especially when it's coming from your relationship with God and the scriptures. That's what you need. Because everybody everybody one way or the other interpret the scriptures to suit themselves.
We are the general.
You
are the general of your life. I am the general of my life. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it is wrong just because type of way and I get my results because of the way I'm wired, because of the way I connect. Doesn't make it the blueprint.
Sometimes it's the worst place to be. Just like in marriage, there are certain things that might work for my marriage, or that will never work. In fact, you should don't even try it. Don't try that at home.
Two marriages are the same.
Because it's gonna be disastrous. Really.
Yeah.
It gets, yeah.
Sorry, I hope you. I couldn't see you anymore. That's why I just removed you.
Yeah. Okay. I can't see him very well too. Yeah. Because they tease me today that they take lights. I hope they're not taking lights from your side too.
No. No, it's just that my food
no,
was
there is no interruption today.
It's just a teaser there.
My food was burning, so I had to go off the gas.
Okay. Of course. So let's continue with whatever questions and whatever she wants to.
Last week, you guys were talking about music, spirituality. Sorry, I wanted to join you guys last week, but network was acting funny. So you guys are talking about music of being spiritual and all that, and I quite agree with you people, because when I read Ezekiel chapter 13, and I saw how God created Lucifer, I was amazed. It got me thinking about how powerful music can be. And some time ago, the Holy Spirit nudged me that I should write a book. The title of the book is The Power of Music. And I've been doing some research about that book, and I actually the Holy Spirit nudged me to study David. I studied David. I studied Whitney Houston. I studied Michael Jackson, and I studied Luther Vandross. And these people were very instrumental to music and its change all over the world. These people influenced a lot of human beings with music. That's to show you how magical and spiritual music is.
Yeah, I spoke about that.
Yeah, a lot of scholars in music are teaching the wrong things. They tell us music is putting sounds together to bring a melodious song, but I see it far from that.
It's deeper.
Music is not just putting a couple of instruments together and a voice to bring out something melodious pleasing to the ear. So I was asking someone, I said, how come you listen to a Spanish song and you don't even have an idea of what they are saying, but it passes a message to you? And I asked him, I said, okay, how come you listen to a love song and the next thing you just want to be with somebody? That's to tell you how powerful music is. I even told him that in Japan right now, they use classical music to heal, to make treatment, to treat people.
Yeah.
So music is a very powerful tool, a very powerful tool. Like my uncle just came from UK. He just came from the UK, and when I was listening to Bob Marley this morning, he was telling me some things about Bob Marley. He told me how Bob Marley died, they said Bob Marley died of cancer, and how Bob Marley came in contact with cancer. This thing we call music is not just a thing we toy with. Because first of all, the person who introduced music is a spiritual person.
Yeah.
So, and the person who he meant for, like I said, only God can handle worship. We cannot handle worship. It is in our place to give worship. And God is the one who handles the worship. And after handling the worship, he brings down the blessing. Now, Lucifer wanted to handle worship, which he couldn't. That was why he fell. And in his own case, he made mistake just once and God threw him down. But we will keep making mistakes. We keep making mistakes and we worship him and he will listen. And he said, if he can say, David, the man after my own heart, with all the shenanigans of David and all that, yet he still says, this is the man after my heart. That till date, all the prime ministers in Israel are traceable to the lineage of David. So that is how powerful.
Okay. Israel.
That is how powerful music can be. So I wish a lot of choir members, a lot of musicians can really just understand what this thing they are into is all about. Because I think some of us are doing it just for the money. Just what I go put for my belly. That is what they are doing it for. And music is more than that. So I quite commend the convener of this occasion.
Thank you, Jesus.
It's so powerful.
Thank you, Jesus.
It's so powerful that we need to reach out to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And let them understand. When the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable.
Yeah.
I think we are abusing music. That is my take.
Yeah.
We are abusing it. Like what Giraffe said. Giraffe was saying something, I was listening. He said, who calls the shots? Who says we can't play this kind of music? Who says we can't play this kind of music in church? Who says we can't play this kind of music? That when you want to play a man piano in church, people will like look you like, are these people okay? Why are they playing such music in church?
When you started, the look alone, self.
Yeah, the looks alone, like this is Satan in disguise.
There's a place. We are familiar with these people, the Okene people, right? The Igbira people. You know, those guys they're quite, to an extent, some of them are quite violent. You know, I'm trying to be fair. Some of them. And that violence is usually attributed to some of the cultures. Take, for example, the Masquerade Festival. And then there's this particular dance they play, these particular drums they play, for those masquerades and all of that. Do you know that I was shocked to find that the same style of music is what they play in church?
Oh.
Because that is their culture. Will you condemn practice because they play the same band, and masquerade with dance and they will fight, then they'll play the same dance and sing some good songs in church?
Yeah.
For example, my piano is a South African kind of music. Afrobeat. We are Afrobeat is a fusion of too many things, coming from juju music to Fela. In fact, Fela himself said as Afrobeat. I mean, as I Laugh sing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
as I Laugh. He was doing I Life. In fact, Fela and this guy, this man in one of the greatest musicians.
What's his name?
Victor Waifo.
Victor Waifo.
Victor Waifo, yes.
Victor Waifo and
Victor Waifo.
Yeah.
No, sir. It's Victor Waifo. So Victor Waifo and Fela, they were all band whatever members to
Victor Olaya.
The Olaya, Victor Olaya. Victor Olaya teamed up with this man. What's his name again? From
Bobby Benson.
That brought I Life. So everybody was. No, Bobby Benson is different. There's a guy before, not Bobby Benson now. I think it's Bobby Benson. Yes. So that team up. At one point, Fela went to America to audition for a job so that he can be playing in some centers, like they play in some museum center. He failed. The man auditioning him said, listen, what you're singing is good, but this is not original. This is not Africa. You have to discover yourself. So because the guy was exposed to some kind of books, don't mind me, I'm talking like authority because I just finished a documentary on that. So I'm so much. So if you wonder how did he know? So the guy got exposed to some materials that were very political on how the politics, the Western influence, in Africa. That's what led to his activism. So he merged activism to the root African music, which is also coming from the way they were worshiping the Orumilas, the Ifas, and all of that stuff. And he brought it down. Dressing, okay, I am black. I was like this, dressing naked before people came and gave me your clothes. Now this is how I want to dress. Though he was involved in some things, but the guy has so many things that he picked from somewhere. And he developed for Afrobeats. But today, what we are, Afrobeats with the X, because it's a fusion of both the Fela kind of music, both the high life, both juju, and other Western influences from the Caribbean, from Brazil, from hip-hop. So that's what we have right now. Now, when you see people now doing Afrobeat, for example, in church, you see the person as, oh, is that what you're doing in church? Where in the club?
I think one of the reasons why
that is a problem.
Why you see Christians hiding to clubs, because they're not allowed to express themselves fully in the church, especially those who have been there before, and God met them.
Yeah.
And they met.
Will bear witness. Majority of the musicians or instrumentalists, they ended up playing in clubs. And the moment they started playing in clubs, their lives improve. Some of them
oh my God.
Thank you, sir. Because the church, I don't know whether you've talked about that. The pastor will come and pray, and we will play. The pastor will need to preach. I mean, we need to prepare before ministering. He will go, he will study the book, and he will come and preach and teach and pray and pray. But the musician, we have to get materials. You will study, you will train, you also pray. Be heard for you to for the Spirit of God to move. Then after you do all of that, then the pastor will come and give you hand with a cracked voice. God bless you. God bless you. Then he was paid, but the instrumentalist should not be paid. Then when the guy goes out there to do some other things so that he can feed his family and pay his bills, you see him as evil. You push him to the wall. Then at the end of the day, you see him as, okay, these people, they are not loyal. God gave you the gift.
I think
what you are doing is not a gift.
I think you are making a mistake there. I think you are miscalculating some things there. Now, let me throw this light. At the very beginning of my music career, I was taught by one of Fela's band members. I was taught by one of Fela's band members. And he gave his life to Christ. He finally found Christ and he was in church. So we were young boys then. So he was, just brought all of us together and was, teaching us how to play. He plays virtually everything. He told us that in Fela's band, you must have an idea of everything.
Wow.
You must know how to play the drums, the bass guitar, the lead guitar. So he plays the lead guitar, he plays bass guitar, he plays the piano, he plays virtually everything. Now here's it. Here's it. If you want to be a musician, be a musician. If you want to be a professional, be a professional.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop you from playing outside the church. But where I feel that a lot
Ross, you have to really talk, like, clear that part.
Okay.
It doesn't stop from playing outside the church. Where exactly?
Yes, it doesn't. No. Okay. For example, a lot of gospel producers, they virtually produce most of these secular hits that you hear.
Really?
They do.
Yes, sir. I know.
Whoa.
Especially in the Western world. Yeah. Especially in the Western world. No.
Yeah. Johnny Drill of Maven. That guy produced, mix, and master most of the secular songs you heard. I never knew. That guy is a pastor's son.
Wow.
And his music,
some of
he preaches.
Yeah, some of Beyonce's songs
good music.
That's the idea of good music. By guys in church. So if you want to be a professional, be a professional. Now, I think where the problem is the lifestyle. Because because at the time I was playing for Daniel Wilson at the time. Now their lifestyle is what
exactly
is the issue.
Oh wow.
Sorry, bro. What exactly did you?
Okay, I played the bass. I played the bass and drums.
Oh.
So now
he's called Ep4.
So now the challenge is the lifestyle. So if you want to be a professional musician, be a professional musician. A professional musician can play anywhere. Somebody cannot tell me that those guys who play for Don Moen don't play somewhere else. They only play in church. Your gift is not meant for church alone. Like Don Feb said, he said, we are the light of the world. I think we are becoming too restricted inside the church. That is why the church doesn't make any impact.
Yeah.
So if for example I'm playing in Davido's band, I'm Davido's bass player, and when they are smoking, I don't smoke. When they are drinking, I don't drink. Don't you think a day will come that they will say there's something about this guy?
Yeah.
And before you know what's happening, God has a way of pushing himself to people. He will definitely use somebody. In this earthly realm that we are, he will definitely use somebody.
Ross, what you are talking about is for the mature mind, mature Christians, not for babes. Only mature Christians and people who truly understand how God works would dig what you're talking about.
No, but I believe some men of God should understand this. Because my dad will always say something. He said the matured elephant will always allow the baby elephant to blow his trumpet. If he doesn't blow it very well, he will tell him, "Dad, boy, this is not how to blow it. This is how to blow it." So that by the time the matured elephant is no longer available, the baby elephant will now know how to blow his trumpet. I think one of the challenges we have been misled.
Yeah, but in order to add to what you are saying, I think you raised a very good point.
Yeah.
Where you said the lifestyle is a problem. In all honesty, sir, if you don't get to some level of maturity in Christ, and because just for the love of music, you go out anywhere, even the little light you have,
flesh
to be snuffed out.
Flesh is flesh, yeah.
So it's not, and some people, it's not everybody that can resist the urge to, like me.
I
don't drink. We know the way we grew up. Where we grew up when we're learning this. I don't smoke, but I've done stuff with virtually all the big people you can think of, one way or the other. They're like, "What is wrong with you?" Okay, for example, there was a time I was in Cape Town. We were doing some music course. They normally give every 5 minutes for a cigarette break. Every 5 minutes, you go smoke, drink. So my friend like, "What is wrong with you? You don't drink, you don't smoke. You must be a wicked person." They tell you that a man, either you smoke or you drink or you humanize it. I don't do any. They say, "No, you're a wicked person." Do you understand? Because of the grace of God that I've been, I've been mentored and tutored by a lot of persons growing up to a point where I can say, okay, I have some level of little maturity to resist too many things. There is nowhere I can go to today or wherever I be with that can, either that I should be the one to influence you without saying a word. But there are many people. I'll give you a very good example. My younger brother is a DJ. And as a DJ, DJ Swag, as a DJ, he plays virtually every day at different clubs. But when he started the club thing, he was scared. He was never, he was not going to do that because there's no one to be. So it took him some time before he became free. So when people were like asking him, what is wrong with you? He said, listen, bro, this thing I'm doing, I have elder brothers that taught me. I've never seen them drink or smoke. So why should I do it? Why should I be the one to start it? And because of that, there is no way I will not allow this guy to go because he can control himself. And I've never heard of any situation someone is in his 30s though, but you still see him, he can't misbehave not because you shout or anything, but by level of influence. That is a different case, and it came with maturity. But there are many people in church, just put them where other people are. They feel this sense of camaraderie, just a sense of belonging. If you are smoking, you don't look like you are the weak person or you don't know what's up. Collect and pass. Before you know, they stop going to church. And before you know, even the gift will be corrupted. You now be seeing them. Would you believe if I say, most people know,
I heard the pastor's son.
The music director.
The pastor's son.
Redeem.
The pastor's son.
Many of them.
So
Mastercraft. No, his mother. I think his mother director. Mastercraft, music director for so many years. Now, just even mention anybody that is doing well that is not from church. Even Don Jazzy. Why do I mean? Before he traveled to UK and started playing in clubs, that was how he met this guy, JJC Skill. It was JJC Skill that gave all of them opportunity. Don Jazzy, the band. And today, but the truth of the matter is that you don't throw people away because of habit. But before you can do that, the Bible says something. The blind cannot lead the blind. Both of them will fall into the ditch. So before you can say, oh, I'm going out there, they cannot influence me, make sure you are strong enough. Because because of money, they'll be the one to tell you, I beg, even the pastor in a business they do. Before you know, they leave church.
Oh my God.
But thank God for people like Pastor Chris Yakilome of Christ Embassy. One of those early people that, you know what, we're going to be paying instrumentalists. And that is why you see the dynamics.
I think what you're talking about
music
now,
change in Africa.
What you're talking about is what this was the first episode we had. You remember, James?
Wow.
Go back and listen. I said there was a place I said, if you watch the churches that pay and the ones that don't pay, there's a vast difference, because if you see the ones that pay, they are very committed. We're talking about if gospel musicians should be paid, the workers should be paid in church. That was the first topic we had ever. So exactly what you just said, it just like rang something in my head. Like
because to me, I feel that is the essence of tithe.
Okay,
I believe in tithing if it is used rightly. But anyway, my idea, whether it's used rightly or not, if I want to tithe, I tithe. I don't care how they use it. Because you're giving because you know you'll get back whatever from God in multiple ways. But that is a different ballgame. But what I'm trying to say now is, Bible says, bring all the your tithe and offering into the storehouse of God, so that there will be meat in the house. That means for the workers. And that is why the Levites and the priests were exempted from the the inheritance, so that they have something to. So if, for example, I am a church worker, as they rightly call us, it's just that some people didn't ask, okay, you're a volunteer or whatever. If I'm a church worker and I'm playing a prominent role that is so prominent in the worship of the church, then if I am being taken care of, then that will give me more time to pray, to study, and to be really a minister, not just a musician. Because the difference between being a musician and a minister of the gospel is the spirit behind what you do now. So people just play the piano and people are getting healed. So people can play the drums and people are getting healed. Now the difference is now the quality of time they spend with God in fellowship and the conviction they get from God from those fellowship. But just being a musician, you come, you entertain the church, you go back elsewhere, you entertain, you hardly have time to spend with God, then you're a musician. But you can't say, then how else are you serving God with the gift? Because I always believe that there should be a way of us tightening ourselves in whatever God has given to you. For example, I do shows every year, you know, in my community, my little community. We do carnival, we do whatever. But I made the point of this that every 31st December, we do a praise night, and it's free. I always say to, when my boys are like, I beg now, let's go. I said, listen, we have had a fruitful year. It's God's grace. This thing is tight for the year. When you start your year with praising God and using your gift to serve God in whatever capacity, and you're not paid for it, you have just paid the tithe for the year. And you'll be surprised at the way God will do for you. So a personal conviction, for example, right? This is my personal. But if you're mature enough, you just be like a regular musician. And sincerely speaking, before you know it, you will stray away. Like there were many musicians in the Bible, but God had to say there's something about David. It's only David that play, and mind you, the evil spirit, the Bible says, came from God to torment Saul.
Oh my God.
It's also they searched the entire land of Israel, and they found only David worthy.
Yes.
Meaning that it was not just skillful, there's something behind it. Because anybody can play skillfully and nothing happens. I think that is where we should also be mindful as Christians. Our own worship, our own service. But if the church cannot learn to, like, okay, you know what, for you to focus and concentrate, we'll also put you, no matter how little. But when I not say, okay, what they're giving to me in church is too small, I want to make money like Davido, I want to make money like Whiskey, then that is where greed is now pushing me. Then, but I'm not saying you cannot combine them. You can combine them when you are mature enough. But yes, if we look about it, how many gospel concerts do we really have in Nigeria? Apart from Sinach, apart from Tim Godfrey, now this guy is doing a reverb. What's his name? Prince Emmanuel is doing reverb. Then we have this guy doing Mega Groove. What's his name? Easy Concepts. How many shows do we really have in Nigeria?
I think Ada started one.
I'm not coming about people gather and return to crusade again.
Ada,
I did.
Do you know?
Austin, welcome.
But thank God.
Hello, Austin. Welcome.
Thank God for a concept like the experience.
Okay.
Look what it does to Nigeria. See how many people, you know, look at the administration. And people don't know these things. But rather, some churches, when they are organizing such events, they rather bring people. And even when they bring people, they will not even recognize their own members.
Yeah.
But when people go, you have to get people to lead praise and worship. So many people want to work. Okay, let's go outside. When you invite me, you value me.
That's familiarity.
Yeah.
A lot of
vocabulary.
Great content.
Yeah.
It's a sickness, really.
A lot of that is because of manipulation. Some pastors, they want to eat everything. I'm not saying there's no money, but they want to, if a pastor should be paid, then there's nothing wrong for a musician to be paid. Believe you, I mean, I have never played in any, I've played in several churches and few churches. I have never received a dime because that is my own personal conviction. But that doesn't mean people should not be paid. Musicians in church should be paid because that's how they feel.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Jorah.
Now because
I
how
agree
about that
with
things
you. When in my church, I don't collect money. I'm not paid. I have my reasons. I have my reasons for that. But
no,
I listened to Joseph Prince. One certain time, and Joseph Prince really said, he really talked about this particular topic, and he said, look, you have to pay these people. You know, you just have to. Because these are the people who are between, worshippers and God. They are the one who brings down God's presence. So, for example, if that worshipper is not in the right frame of mind, there is no way, there is no song that he will sing that will bring down the presence of God. There is nothing he will do.
That's true.
If he's not in the right frame of mind. So that is why I feel a lot of pastors, a lot of ministries now are okay, let's pay our pastors. If a pastor is not in his right frame of mind and you tell him to go and minister about love, he will start ministering about curses. He will go and open Deuteronomy 28. And if that do not hearken to the word of the Lord,
Mount Ebal.
Because why? His wife is at home waiting for him.
He will get that.
Yeah, his wife is.
He will get that from and get us him and climb Mount Ebal.
I want to tell them that was the school visit. No. So it's really. I think this music stuff is really worrying.
It is.
It's really worrying.
It is, seriously.
Yeah.
I was praying 2 days ago, and I was telling God, I said, kingdom take over. That was what was just coming to my mind. Kingdom take over. And the Holy Spirit took me back like 15 years ago when I said, I wish to wake up one morning and I see an Airtel billboard and I see a Sinach on the billboard. And I see a Glow billboard and I see Nathan Ebasi on that billboard. Those are the things I want to see. We are mistaken. If a whole American government can bring PJ to Nigeria to pick Sinach and go to the US to minister to soldiers who are going for war, man, we have a lot to do.
That's
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Somebody paid that
Pastor
price.
Chris.
And that's Pastor.
He paid the price. Pastor Chris paid that price.
He paid that price. But now we are complaining we never blow. Other people are blowing. Then we now said, okay, because they are connected, or they have to join courts. Like what is common, they will join courts, belong to one thing or the other before they blow. Now somebody has now said, you have to join courts, which is satanic, to blow. How much more that you that claim to be in God, in Christ? Because we know that in the music business now, or entertainment business,
that's right.
Your talent is known. It's just like 20% success. It's just 20%. The remaining 80% depends on several things: your networking, your packaging, who you know in the industry. But if you carry God, because many of us we are taught just to say, okay, we use our gift to worship God. That's why we remember where we are. And in the bid now to be useful in the industry, we have to join them instead of them joining us. And the level of success at which this guy is going is the concept. I've been studying him from afar. The guy did not come with the how will I put it now? This concept of, oh, let's come and worship God. We all know that they are spiritual, but it comes with the concept of kingdom business. It stresses them. It's not kingdom business. Even down to his seminars are paid for and they are not cheap. You've been seeing 20,000, 25,000 for his seminar. Now, some people may criticize that because they cannot afford it. But the Bible says,
even among musicians, there's I mean, there's this guy, but I'll just go to the guy. Actually, Iman Toki, that's not an Ebasis pianist, there's this SMJ. I mean, I'm sure you might know SMJ. SMJ plays for Tim Godfrey, and there's this he organizes this seminar, paid. Like, I mean, you have to pay for it to, I saw I was just watching, observing the turnouts, and he mentions like once you put any price tag on any music seminar, they won't come. But just say free. Now, brother,
they won't come.
You go and rent canopy virtually, Yeah, really, yes. I mean,
and they will not.
Wow.
Because I mean, obviously they criticize. I mean, why will you sell your skills that God gave you for free?
Can you imagine?
But the truth is that in as much as the life of Jesus, which we the Christians were living supposedly, the principles, we are not living the principles. I mean, the church specifically, you're not living the principles of Jesus. And the principles, that's actually where you need to make money. That's the business part of it too. It's part of the principles. Because the question God is going to ask you, what I give to you, what did you do?
What did you do with it?
What did you do?
In fact, that is
multiply it.
That is number one
or
thing
do you keep
that God will judge.
Yes.
The gift I gave to you, what did you do with it?
What did you do with it?
Yeah. That's the question.
Wow.
So the purpose of music.
And every time
Yeah.
or invested is life spent. So if you spend quality time training yourself, fine-tuning your skills, learning, submitting yourself in some rigorous hours to learn some things, networking, and people expect you, what you have invested your life learning and acquiring, to go and give them because they are your brothers or because they are your. And that is the problem. And Christians don't support themselves.
That's true. That's the truth.
The prophet,
we spoke about it that day.
Yeah,
they don't support themselves. Everybody is struggling to break out. Everybody is struggling to break out, out. So when you break out, you
even in choir, when you
how many
assume,
people,
sorry to consider the hair, when you assume that okay, you are blown. Someone mentioned something to me in choir, like I don't like to back up.
Why?
Yeah, I don't like to back up because I mean, the person leads fantastic. I mean, like doesn't like to back up. That's actually pride there, though. I mean, that's
well.
No, but many of those, from your own experience and my experience, many of those people they can't really sing well in the studio because come on, you'll be struggling. You want to solo every part. Then you have to pay backup. Yeah. Because you feel but everything you want to run skills.
We're going to be talking about skills later. I know.
Not today.
Not today.
I know.
No, later. I mean later, not now, not today at all.
That would be disastrous.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I want to shake tables, Abby.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. I think it's been an expository one again today. I've learned a lot. I need to put my head together and just like I need to watch it again and just something. I need to write things down because so many things came out of this. Thank you so much, Jeremiah. I mean, I learned a lot.
Thank you so much.
You're so knowledgeable. Yeah, the guy is.
I will see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow morning.
All right, I will wait for you.
I'm sorry. Are you Are you in Lagos? Are you in Nigeria?
Sorry, me? Don't
Yeah,
say
yeah.
me?
No, you.
Who's that?
I know
No, no, no.
Jonas is in Lekki.
No, I'm not
James,
Nigeria.
yeah,
Saying,
yeah.
I've
Are
been
you
saying it
Nigeria?
since.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm in Germany.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
I would have, I would have loved whereby. No, I would have loved whereby we really put up a program to this effect and really, pass knowledge to people, because a lot of choir members are just there. They don't have an insight about what they are doing, and their music directors don't even know what they are doing. My dad would say,
Bro.
a band is as good as his music director. So it's
Can you say that again?
my dad. A band is as good as its music director.
A band
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Okay.
A band is as good as its music director.
I get it. I get it. Wow.
Yeah. So
This
we need
platform
to,
to actually
I
reach
we need
out.
to pass.
Yeah. It's on. It's
Reach out to
weekly.
people.
Yeah, it's weekly.
Oh, okay.
Giraffe was with us last week. It was very, very interesting, but it was
Thank you for opportunity. I would have been talking for a minute if I'm not doing any other thing. But yeah, thank you.
I think it will fit you. It will suit you really, honestly. We could still do stuff together.
Wow.
We'll try.
We do stuff together. You're always welcome.
Me, I'm always ready, because I'm not engaged. I'm always anytime randomly just call on me.
I'm
ready. Yeah, I'm hungry to
No, seriously.
and learn too.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I've learned.
So much
I've learned a
from
lot
our boss.
today.
So much.
Thank you.
I mean,
thank you
you're
for the
welcome.
opportunity.
Thank you so much for always honoring. Thank you
bless.
to Don Fab. Don
God
Fab
bless
was the
you.
one that pushed. I don't know how he did it, but he pushed. You know, he has a way of pushing. He just pushed. So he pushed.
That's the CEO touch music.
I'm telling you. Oh my God.
CEO touch music.
If they say in Nigeria, for come on our studio, come worry now.
If I wait for you tomorrow. If I wait for you tomorrow.
I go see
you. You don't wait to buy the money.
No, no. You will not know.
Oh my God. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Week here. We're gonna bye.
All right.
See you again. Thank you guys. Good night.
All right.
Good night. Yeah.
Bye.
All right. Good night.
Okay. Good night. Bye.